dial calipers. This is what a dial caliper looks like, and we're going to be learning how to use them and practicing with them. And they are used in all sorts of engineering and manufacturing applications. Because when we're talking about putting machines together, things have to be exactly the size that we need them, down to the 1,000th of an inch, exactly what we need, or everything breaks down. And dial calipers, I think it's obvious that this one is how you can use this one to measure things, but there's actually 4 different ways to measure with these, and you've got a handout so that you can remember these later on because you're going to be practicing with all of these. The first one is when we want to measure the length of something, the width of something. Like right here in this picture, they're measuring the width of this piece, and they've put these 2 outside blades on the outside here to measure how wide that piece is. We can also measure the inside. If you look at this little hole here, I can't measure the outside of it. There's no way to measure it with this. You could pretend that you are and just put them kind of close, but that is not getting a precision measurement, a very accurate measurement. So we use these up here, the smaller ones, and we put them inside the hole, and then we push out to get the perfect measurement that's right there. We can also get like a step down, like right here. How thick is this step down? Again, you could go to the edge and try to eyeball it and try to make a guess, but the whole goal of using a dial caliper is to get a very accurate, precise answer. So what you do is you put this flat edge on the bottom edge here, and then you put this part right here on the step right there at the top, and it gives you a very accurate measurement of how far that is. And finally, we have the depth of a hole. How deep does the hole go? Again, you could try to make some kind of guess at it, but this is how you do it properly. You use this end, which I don't think you would think is a measuring part, but you use this end right here, and you put it down in the hole, and you put this all the way to the bottom, and then you put this flat edge right here against the top of it, and you can very accurately measure how deep the hole is. Okay, I'm going to just go through some terms here. This is the blade and the slider. Slider is the part that slides back and forth. This is the dial, and there's a pointer on the dial. And this edge over here can measure 0.1 inches. And this is all in decimals. You'll appreciate it. It's all in decimals, no fractions here. So in order to use this measuring tool, it has to start off on 0, just like if you're going to weigh yourself on a scale. When you get yours, it may be like this where it's not exactly on 0. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to set it to 0. I've given you this handout as well, so you know exactly how to do it. So if it's not on 0, this is what you do right here. Close caliper tightly. First of all, use your fingers, push this completely together here. Then loosen the dial lock. This is the dial lock right there. Loosen it just a little bit. Don't take it out, just loosen it. Then you actually turn this whole face here. This whole dial gets turned just a little bit till it goes to 0. Then you tighten this dial lock back up. You must do all of those. Each time this goes around one whole time, it's gone 1/10 of an inch. So one whole time around here is the equivalent of going from here to there. So let's practice on how to read them. So if we were going to measure this, this might be the end of a pipe where we just see the very end of it, or some kind of O-ring. We're going to measure how wide this is. So first you look for the inch marks. We're starting right here. There's one of the big inch marks, so we're going to start and we're going to write down 1. Then we look over here at the small marks. We're just past the 4. We're just past the line of the 4, so we write down 0.4. Now we look at where the dial is. Starting here, go around 30, so that's the 3. And then you count the little dots going over, get you to 7. Then you add these up. There's our answer. This thing is 1.437 inches wide. Alright, let's do one more. We got a little block here. Let's measure it and then see if we're right. So we start here 1 whole inch. Then it looks like we've gone to 4, but it might be 3. Is it 3 or is it 4? Well, you look here. This is 0.02, so we know it was 1. And then we wanted to decide 3 or 4. Would it make sense if it's 302? That would mean it's really close to 3. Is that right? No, it's really close to 4. So it's clearly 402. Okay, and that's it for this video on dial calipers.